there's a great deal of uncertainty as a precious metals company right now. Buying product from across the globe 90 to 100 days, 120 days in advance, paying the highest premiums we've ever paid in our career.
It's a monetary asset, and gold is not too far from its all-time highs. Silver is halfway there. So I think investors see that, and then they also see that growing use as an asset, as a metal that decarbonizes our economy. It's critical for any electric vehicles. It's critical for photovoltaic cells. It's really a metal for the future.
Where has all the silver gone? It seems like dealers across the bullion industry are having supply issues where there are delays up to like a month or even more, especially on the sovereign minted coins. And I was wondering if you can first discuss this. Where has all the silver gone, and what is the latest that you're hearing?
Yeah, well, look, ad nauseum, this is what I've been talking about for long over a year. And when I talk about supply becoming difficult to get, I'm not talking about today or even tomorrow. I'm talking about 6 months from now, because when you acquire product these days, it's a long-term endeavor. It's 90 days, 120 days. It's putting money up front. It's securing product, hedging, and running logistics. I've been talking about this. The buzz phrase I've been using is that this market will be defined by an inability to source product. Well, let's take a step back and realize for a second that we're not the only people at the party. And I think it's naive to believe that only those participating in the North American bullion acquisition game are the only participants. What you're seeing globally with inflation in the United Kingdom at the highest level it's been since World War II, 30-year highs in Germany, highs in Japan, you're seeing inflation across the globe, all over the place. You're seeing actions by governments like Trudeau, freezing bank accounts for people donating $50 on GoFundMe. You're seeing whole countries being kicked out of the SWIFT system by a weaponizing of the dollar. You have woken up globally a whole swath of investors who wouldn't know a gold and silver coin if it fell on their foot. And now they're all competing for the same small pool of product that we're trying to get, that we used to have no problem getting when you're talking about the United Kingdom or South Africa or Australia or Austria. These were items that were so easy to get. As I've said before, I used to have distributors, large distributors who would represent these sovereign mints and call me up and they'd say, listen, Andy, let me put 50,000 coins in your warehouse. And I'd say, I don't need them. I said, we don't need them. But they'd say, listen, I'll send them to you, put them in your warehouse, use them if you need them. If not, we'll pay to have it shipped out. This was commonplace. We would house large swaths of inventory that wasn't even ours in anticipation of either using it or allowing them to have it shipped out. It was great. We always had plenty of product. Those days are long gone. And getting product now, you're out into April, May, and June on any of the distributors. And so, I've been doing this for a long time, Elijah. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old in 1989, and I've seen a lot. And I often say I'm a lot more wise than I am smart. Wisdom is something that you achieve through repetition and time. And I've never had a more difficult time in 32 years acquiring product. Over that time frame, I've made a lot of friends in the industry, friends that are not part of my company. And I talk to them, and several of the distributors that I talk to are telling me that sovereign coins are just not available, period. And you're talking 5 or 6 major mints: US, Canada, Austria, Australia, South Africa, United Kingdom. They're not available. And if they are, you're buying them into May and into June. And so there's a great deal of uncertainty as a precious metals company right now. Buying product from across the globe 90 to 120 days in advance, paying the highest premiums we've ever paid in our career, hedging that, and then running logistics deep into the summer, wondering what will happen. And so I'll say this, and I'll say it again: this market will be defined by an inability to source product. It's coming, it's happening in real time right now as globally, we are in competition for a very finite pool of product that is being gobbled up by people across the globe, not just here in North America, and in a stark difference to what it has been in years past. So I would just simply say, where is it? It's being accumulated by people like you and I all around the globe, and it's a bidding war. So I feel sorry for small coin companies and coin shops who aren't at the top of the food chain, who don't have the ability to spend millions of dollars to hedge it, to run logistics. Hedging alone is sophisticated and dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Like, for example, what happened in the nickel market, if we're selling short 100,000 ounces because we bought 100,000 ounces and the price spikes, even though it goes up on what we have in our inventory, we get margin calls on what we sold short. It's dangerous, and you can end up really getting in trouble if you don't know what you're doing. And so the smaller and mid-sized companies who don't hedge, who don't have relationships and the ability to write checks for millions of dollars to buy product 3 months in advance, they're dead in the water. They're not going to get any product. The distributors will pass them by in favor of the 4 or 5 or 6 big companies in this industry who have the ability to do that, and to make it easy on the distributors who are happy to sell it 4 months in advance or 3 months in advance to receive everything up front. And their job is then done, and they can work on allocations into the fall. That's really what's happening right now. So where is it? It's been accumulated. And when we get it in, it disappears as fast as it came in. And I don't think you've seen anything yet. I really do believe you're beginning to see a larger awakening by the mainstream into protecting what it is that they've worked so hard all these years to have obtained, Elijah. So there's no talking my book. I've been saying this for a long time, got a lot of crap for it, only because I wasn't looking at the here and now. I was looking to where we are here today. And when I say this, I'm looking to where we will be in September and October. It's getting exponentially harder every single day to continue to get product in. You have to spend way more money, expend way more time and effort. And I don't see it getting anything but more difficult, to be honest with you.
And I think one of the key things that I'm seeing is those delays. Because if someone calls in and asks for 500 ounces of sovereign coins, it's like it might be a month's delay. Maybe we can get them. And there are some comments here about, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of inventory issues if people look online and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's completely different from what we saw just a couple of years ago. There's huge delays, and for some products, you can't get them. So if you can kind of explain a bit more for our viewers how this is completely different from what we saw just a few years ago.
A lot of the online sites make it look as though they have a good deal of product. One thing that you can do with a lot of the online sites, probably on our new website that will be done in just a few weeks as well, is type in 99999 in the quantity, and you'll see exactly how many that they do have. You can see it by the rising premiums. You can see it by the lack of alternatives to choose from. And I don't care what people say, what they think is out there. You throw $20 million at any major company, and they will have a massively difficult time filling that order, and they will have sold everything that they have for immediate delivery. Every company in the industry. And, you would wipe them out for what they have in stock. Now, that doesn't mean that they haven't ordered more product and they have more coming in. Look, we deal with 6 mints, we deal with 6 refiners, we deal with all of the players. So there's constantly product that we are trying to get in, but